Now on Coast TV News.
Cold across the country. Below zero wind chills continue throughout the Northeast and here on Delmarva. Ice sculptures. The freezing conditions didn't stop the Fire and Ice Festival this weekend. A community debate for a proposed sports complex in Berlin. The reaction from people in town.
The coldest weekend of the winter continues with frigid temperatures, howling winds, and sub-zero feels-like temperatures. And the worst of it tomorrow morning, maybe feeling as cold as 13 below. I'll track it on Futurecast coming up.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Good evening. I'm Emma Aiken. Welcome to Coast TV News at 11. We begin tonight with this dangerous deep freeze hitting much of the Northeast. Millions of Americans are feeling the freeze as record cold temperatures are set to get even worse. NBC's Stephen Romo has more.
Tonight, a brutal cold snap plunging 78 million Americans under cold weather alerts. Parts of Massachusetts seeing more than a foot of snow in the past 24 hours. This car going through the ice on a lake. Incredibly, police say no one was hurt. And a dramatic helicopter rescue after 3 people fell through the ice off New York City. You can see a member of the scuba team pulling someone out of the freezing water to safety. In Butler County, Pennsylvania, this multi-car pileup blamed for at least 1 death. Authorities in Michigan also say whiteout conditions led to multiple crashes and road closures. And for the 3rd weekend in a row, flakes are flying as far south as North Carolina. Meanwhile, many areas dealing with dangerous wind chills, feeling as low as 10 to 20 degrees below zero. Snow, ice, and wind causing delays and ground stops at airports up the East Coast. The wind even knocking down part of this gas station in New Jersey today. The National Weather Service issuing an extreme cold warning for New York City and D.C. through tomorrow, saying there are risks of hypothermia, frostbite, and even death if proper precautions aren't taken.
Milford Advocacy for the Homeless says a warming shelter will open Sunday at Christ Episcopal Church in Milford as these dangerously cold temperatures continue. The site will offer heat, hot meals while supplies last, and transportation to overnight Code Purple sheltering. Organizers say urgent donation needs include winter clothing like coats, hats, and gloves. Despite the blustery conditions, the Fire and Ice Festival is happening this weekend. Hosted by the Bethany-Fenwick Area Chamber of Commerce, the festival spans several towns located in the quiet resorts like here in Bethany. And check out these pictures from the town of Ocean View. Gorgeous ice sculptures there. Organizers say nearly 70,000 pounds of ice are on display this year, carved by the ice god. The festival also kicks off an important year for Delaware.
The theme this year is In the First State. We're celebrating Delaware's 250th. That's the most important part of the event. We are doing history kickoff with our historic groups.
The festival continues through Sunday with ticketed events such as a chili cook-off, tasting tours, competitions, brunches, and community dinners. And we are now taking a live look outside into Dover. Our First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey joins us. Good evening, Bob.
Good evening, Emma, and the good news is those ice sculptures will not be melting anytime soon with these frigid temperatures. 12 in Georgetown right now, 13 in Millsboro, 12 in Long Neck, 15 in Gumboro, 14 degrees in Bethany Beach. That's the actual temperature, and we've got sustained winds still around 15 to 30 miles per hour and gusts of 40 Indian River Inlet and still about 22 miles per hour in Millsboro, but the winds are slowly backing up. But look at these feels like temperatures. Feels like 4 below in Lewis, -7 Indian River Inlet, feels like 2 in Georgetown, 3 in Millsboro. So this is dangerous. You want to cover up the exposed skin, and you know, if you're outside for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you could be looking at frostbite. That's why we have an extreme cold warning continuing for Delaware back through the eastern shore and then southward towards Salisbury and the coast as well. As we're looking at mainly clear skies right now as that Arctic high continues to build in, and we're seeing that cold air pouring in from the north. But once that high gets closer, we'll see those winds dying down. And by midnight, you can see we're right around 12 degrees. And then by tomorrow morning, here's where it gets really bad. 8 in Millsboro, 8 in Selbyville. And then you factor in the winds. Could be feeling as cold as 11 to 13 below zero. But we do have a warm up as we head into next week. I'll let you know when that happens coming up a little bit later on.
BB Healthcare says a physician has been placed on administrative leave after leadership learned of, quote, disturbing social media posts. Officials say the doctor will not see patients while a full investigation is underway. BB Healthcare did not specifically say what was said, but condemned the posts, saying, quote, we have zero tolerance for divisive or discriminatory rhetoric or behavior of any kind, unquote. A Back the Blue event honoring Corporal Matthew Tysnook, who was shot and killed in December, will take place at the Georgetown DMV tomorrow, February 8th. The event is in partnership with the Delaware Division of Motor Vehicles and will run from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Just like the video you're seeing from past events, this will be a drive-through where people may get a memorial sticker for their car. We do have more on tomorrow's event and on Trooper Snook himself right now on CoastTV.com. A community information session was held at Berlin's Stephen Decatur High School today to debate a proposed site for a youth sports complex. Coast TV News reporter Drew Bellinger shows us the land in question and why those who live nearby have mixed opinions.
On a cold and blustery day at Stephen Decatur High School, emotions at the community discussion board.
Just trying to get here.
At the high school today, this was a topic of conversation, a proposal of a multi-million-dollar sports complex next to the school.
That can bring positive energy to this community.
Ocean City Mayor Rick Meehan says this was the best way to talk about their plans with those who would be directly impacted.
And we wanted to see what their concerns were, if there were things we could do as when we went forward to develop a site plan that would be advantageous to their community and also advantageous to the kids.
Meehan says despite the location being in Berlin, the sports complex will be an Ocean City project and will be paid for out of the Worcester County's room tax, which Meehan says dedicates 40% to tourism. This is the nearly 100 acres of land that officials and those who live here say could be a great financial opportunity for Berlin.
But I feel like it's a pretty solid location.
Wes Maddie from Berlin is in favor.
Hotel rooms are one thing, but you have to eat out, you go to bowling alleys, you fill the time that you're not playing your sport, so all that money goes to the community.
And yet you're not involving the people of the community.
As the session went on, some became upset with the discussion's format and plans for the complex. Those against the plans stood up.
It's going to cause a lot of traffic.
Hazel Burdell-Jean says she's not against the sports complex, but wants to see less growth.
Not here in Berlin, in our little Flower Street. Not Flower Street. Please, not Flower Street.
For now, no decisions made, but complex discussions of a new sports complex. In Berlin, Drew Bellinger, Coast TV News.
There are new developments in the search for Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. FBI agents returned to the property to search every inch for new clues and towed a car believed to be Nancy's. Plus, authorities are investigating a new note related to the case. NBC's Dana Griffin reports.
Tonight, a new message.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Nancy Guthrie's family pleading for her return nearly a week after she was reported missing. Authorities overnight back at Nancy Guthrie's Tucson home. Drone video showing FBI agents searching every inch of the property, disconnecting and removing a device from the roof, and climbing up a ladder into dense vegetation. A vehicle believed to be Nancy's towed away. As renewed activity shut down roads near her home, reaction from the highest levels of government. President Trump last night on Air Force One.
We have some clues, I think, that are very strong, and I think we could have some answers coming up fairly soon.
Investigators looking for potential clues in a second note sent to the same Tucson TV station that received a ransom note through their anonymous tip line earlier this week.
What was your reaction? I did not enjoy receiving that. I did not know that we were going to be the communication platform.
Authorities have not said what's in it, if it's connected to the first note, or if either is legitimate.
There is something in there that we believe they're trying to convey. This is the same people.
I see. We know this, something that only the family would know, I'm assuming.
something like that.
The news director sharing the latest note was not a ransom demand and did not include proof of life. NBC News asked the Pima County Sheriff if Nancy's pacemaker could prove she's alive. He said it's not definitive.
It's a tool, but I don't know that it ever will tell you she's alive or not.
Can you consult with her doctor? Sometimes
We've talked to doctors and we've talked to the pacemaker company, and all of those things are working. But my understanding is you could be deceased and that pacemaker still is working.
Now, the Guthries' agonizing wait continues for their mother.
And our high today was 31 degrees. That's before the Arctic air came pouring in, a low of 12. That's our current temperature, and the record low of 2. Temperatures well below normal. Still, that Arctic air hangs around till Monday. Then a warm up. I'll tell you how warm it gets and how cold it gets until then, coming up after the break.
But first, from food truck rules to power bill problems. It was a busy week here on Delmarva. We have a recap of your week when we're back in just 60 seconds. The first week of February is coming to an end, and there was a lot going on this week here on the coast. Charlie Sakaitis has a look at our week in review.
Monday, Millsboro Town Council unanimously approved a zoning change that opens the door for food trucks to operate more easily. Previously, food trucks were only permitted during festivals and events, but now they can operate year-round. Tuesday in Lewis, slightly warmer temperatures melted the ice in the bay, which results in slushy water that sparkled in the sun. Seagulls could be seen enjoying the beach, but parking lots still in rough shape, and so is the Lewis-Georgetown Trail. Wednesday in Worcester County, plans for a proposed sports complex moved forward. Ocean City's Sports Complex Task Force has now settled on a location, a 100-acre property behind Stephen Decatur High School. Thursday, a battle over a proposed electric rate increase from Delmarva Power. The hike would cost most people between $9 and $16 per month. Democrats say the timing is wrong and the increase unacceptable. Republicans argue the blame is misdirected, pointing at the state's green energy mandates as the real driver of rising rates. And Friday, the Indian River Bay has been reopened to clamming and shellfish harvest after being closed due to a sewer leak. DENREC announced that the mandatory 21-day closure that began on January 15th has expired. The closure came after about 25,000 gallons of wastewater was released from the Millsboro wastewater treatment plant. For your Week in Review, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
We're experiencing the coldest weekend of the winter so far, and today was just brutal with really much of the day in the teens and low 20s. We can see the canal here all iced up on the Dry Tech Cam in Ocean City. So cold tonight, frigid, still windy, but those winds not as ferocious as they were earlier today. Temperatures in the single digits and wind chills as cold as 13 below tomorrow morning. And then Sunday, sunny and cold, and if we get above 20, we'll be lucky, and wind chills 5 below to 5 above, and those winds still gusting over 30 miles per hour. And look at these peak wind gusts today. Dewey Beach up to 57 miles per hour, 54 miles per hour in Lewis, with Georgetown and Laurel at 46 miles per hour, Dagsboro and Seaford 45, Milton and Millsboro gusting to 43, and Slaughter Beach at 42. So those winds just howling all day, and it's still breezy out there now, and these temperatures really are tumbling. 12 in Georgetown and Long Neck right now, 13 in Millsboro and Redden, 17 in Laurel, 13 in Bethany Beach, and the winds still blowing hard, but they're slowly easing off. We're still looking at sustained winds around 15 to 25 miles per hour, still gusting close to 40 at the coast and gusting to 20 in Georgetown, and that feels like temperature feels like 5 below in Lewis and Indian River Inlet. That's why we stress to really be careful outside, because you could get frostbite in a matter of 15 minutes to a half hour. Feels like 1 below in Laurel right now. We still have that extreme cold warning all of Delaware for the Eastern Shore too until noon tomorrow, and then farther south through Salisbury into Wicomico County and Worcester counties as well until 10 a.m. And that frostbite risk is real. It's high into tomorrow morning. Feels like temperatures 12 below, 7 below Monday, and then we do improve beginning on Tuesday. So know the signs of hypothermia as we go into the next 24 to 36 hours, because we are looking at that that dangerous cold to continue. As we have a few clouds out there right now, you can see the milky complexion to the satellite picture. That's because of all the cold air reflecting back to the satellite and all that Arctic air pouring in with this area of high pressure. But once this high gets closer to us and settles in, those winds will ease off as we go into Sunday. And just plain cold tonight into Sunday morning. 8 at 6 a.m. for Millsboro, 7 in Georgetown, 8 in Berlin. And then as we go into the afternoon hours, I don't think we're getting to 20 for a lot of us, maybe in Delmar, but only 18 in Millsboro, 18 in Long Neck. And then we move into your Monday morning and still very cold, single digits and lower teens. Then finally close to freezing by Monday afternoon, and feels like temperatures through the overnight, single digits to double digits below zero. Some places as cold as 13 below tomorrow morning, and then still below zero tomorrow afternoon, and into Monday morning still below zero. And then we do start to improve, I think, as we go into the latter part of Monday, as we're still seeing wind gusts close to 40 miles per hour tonight, but then they back off. It's still breezy tomorrow, 25 to 30 miles per hour, and then a slow decrease in those winds as we go into Monday. 7 tonight, mostly clear, frigid, feeling like 8 below to 13 below, and then a high of only 20 despite sunshine tomorrow, and feeling as cold as -3. Here is your Paul Davis 7-day forecast. Yellow alert tomorrow because of the cold, so bundle up and watch the Super Bowl on NBC. 31 Monday, and then mid-40s, in fact 46 Wednesday. That'll feel good, and then cooling down towards the end of the week, and by Valentine's Day, mostly sunny and chilly, and a high of 39. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Wicomico boys basketball held a post-game ceremony to honor head coach Butch Waller after beating North Carolina earlier today. DSN's Tyler Aiken has more on this end of an era for the Tribe.
Every winter for the last 60 Wicomico boys basketball seasons, this has been the view of head coach Butch Waller. And through that view, he's seen nearly 950 wins, a state championship winning team, but he's also touched the lives of thousands of players, assistant coaches, and other community members. And at the end of the day, that's what he thinks really matters.
I mean, as cold as it is outside, you would think people want to stay home, but I really appreciate all the people, but especially ex-players, the ones that went up and down this floor.
All those people came out to the Waller Dome and watched Y-High beat North Carolina 70-58. But the real show was afterwards, when the Tribe celebrated Waller reaching 60 years of coaching. While he is stepping down at the end of the season, there's a certain word he's unwilling to say.
I never did like the word retire, because that's like giving up. And so I'm just closing this chapter, because Doug King, he's been with me 24 years. I'm sure he thought I'd be dead by now, but I kept moving, kept going, and so it's his turn. It's their turn. Could I still do it? Absolutely.
And you can't say that Waller's wrong. His accomplishments speak for themselves.
You know, there'll be signs. We have a 900 win sign. I think tonight was 949. So there are a lot of wins along the line.
And Waller's still hungry for more, especially another
state championship. Another one of those. Well, I got it back in the room. No, I mean, that's what we all. You know, why do people climb mountains? It's because they want to get to the top. Why? Because the top's there. And everything I've ever gotten into athletically, I want to work towards that. You very seldom reach it, but you know that's the goal.
So this season, Waller's going for a second state title. After that,
some other schools have asked if I would be willing to help, and so we'll see. I'll pop up somewhere.
There you go.
I just don't know what normal guys do in the winter from November to March. I have no clue. I'm always in here, so. It's a new chapter. We'll see what happens.
Today isn't about what's next, though. It's about Waller's 60 years of leadership, learning, and love. Reporting from the Waller Dome, I'm Tyler Aiken, DSN.
Preparations are underway for Super Bowl 60. The Seattle Seahawks take on the New England Patriots in Santa Clara, California, Sunday evening. Officials have been working on security plans for months, and as Jen Sullivan reports, responding to California residents' concerns about rumored ICE operations at the game.
Security measures ramping up ahead of Super Bowl 60 outside and inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Federal and local officials say they will have eyes in the skies, on the ground, and even on the water.
We've brought in some additional assets, our deployable specialized forces.
While officials say there are no known credible security threats, the Super Bowl is categorized as a Tier 1 event by the Department of Homeland Security, which is the highest rating and requires extensive support and coordination from federal agencies.
Our goal is the safety and security of the personnel.
But one federal agency that the NFL says is not expected to be present is Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
There are no planned ICE or immigration enforcement operations that are scheduled around the Super Bowl or any of the Super Bowl related events.
Ahead of the big game, anti-ICE posters have been cropping up around San Francisco depicting the Puerto Rican Sapo Concho image used by singer Bad Bunny, who will be performing this year's Super Bowl halftime show. The decision to choose Bad Bunny, who performs mostly in Spanish, has drawn criticism from some, including the president.
I don't know who he is. I don't know why they're doing it. It's like crazy.
The Trump administration's crackdown on immigration has sparked anti-ICE protests across the country, including this one in San Francisco last month. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Don't forget the Super Bowl airs right here on Coast TV tomorrow, February 8th. Pre-game starts at 1 and kickoff is at 6:30. And after all the coverage, stay tuned for Coast TV News. Don't forget the Winter Olympics run through the 22nd, only here on Coast TV. And due to the Olympics, from February 9th through the 20th, you can catch Jeopardy on our sister station, Fox 21, at its regular time, 7:30. Same show, same time, just a different channel while the games are on.
And if you're headed out to church or just grabbing breakfast in the morning, bundle up. Needless to say, I think at least 11 by tomorrow morning. I think we could be in the single digits and at least 3 below on the wind chill. Could be as cold as 10 to 13 below. So avoid frostbite and make sure you bundle up. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. Yellow alert on Sunday for that cold. Bundle up, hunker down, watch the Super Bowl on NBC, down to 9 as we head into Monday morning. And then we're warming into the mid-40s. That'll be nice, 46 by Wednesday, colder into the weekend. And maybe our next rain snow chance comes in on Sunday next week, and then even a bigger warm-up into the following week.
Thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Saturday Night Live starts right now. Have a great night.